And for that, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome onto this stage Professor Khalid Ahmad Sheikh. Can we have a round of applause for him, please?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, a quick show of hands. I believe all of you are pharmaceutical manufacturers here. Raise your hand if you have any worry that your business will fail. Do you have any worries about your business? Anyone? No? But no one raised their hand. Okay, I guess there's no point going through this because I thought you all are worried about your businesses, and there are reasons for that, why we have to worry about that. Reasons are, we undergo GMP inspections, every single one of you, whether it's from DRAP, from EMA, MHRA, or maybe USP. When we host any regulator, of course we are worried. Why are we worried? Because we will have non-compliances. They will issue us warnings, critical, major, minor. And why do we worry? Because we're not that good in GMP compliance. I'm not talking about the Pakistani community. I'm talking about across globe, as manufacturers, we struggle to comply with guidelines. Now, since morning I heard we have almost 34% increase in export. But where do we export to? Can someone raise your hand if anyone in this room export their products to UK? Pharmaceutical products. You have marketing authorization? Excellent. Which company are you work for? Well done. Anyone export to Europe? EU? So when we say 34% increase in growth, where are these products going? China? No offense to my colleague. Africa? Okay, you decide. So it gives me an answer that we are not ready for export. When you talk about export, we talk about export to Western world. So if you're not ready for that, we have to understand what are the reasons. Maybe we as regulators in Western world, we have not issued good guidelines for you guys, which you're struggling to follow. Maybe we don't really have good guidance available. Although we have PICS guideline, and this morning, we heard about PICS adoption by DRAP, for example. We have Pakistan GMP, EU GMP, ICH guidelines, and then we have pharmacopoeias. Where is your flag? Why is your flag not there? And why is that flag there now? Where is that small flag? I hope that Dr. Obaid was still here, because I have spent 2 days with him, and my whole perception has changed about Pakistan regulators. When I was there in UK, I had to admit we talk all bad about Pakistani regulators, because we believe you don't really follow GMP. But what I heard and seen in the last 2 days, we were at DRAP yesterday, or day before yesterday, and I met 60 people, drug inspectors, and I was amazed. Whatever I learned from UK about Pakistani regulators wasn't true. So you have capable people who can actually talk about GMP. But what I had this morning from Dr. Obaid, as well as our health minister, I believe he can do that. I want this flag to be amongst those flags. And not very long ago, I heard our health minister telling us he wants to increase export from 3 billion to how many billions? 34 billions. When you want this flag to be there? When? Come on, guys. I have only 10 minutes left. Give me a date. I'm happy to work with you. We heard from USP. I work very closely with British Pharmacopoeia, European Pharmacopoeia. And our neighbors, they manufacture products for USP. They follow USP standards. We follow EU GMP in EU as well as in UK. I'm not competing with my colleague from USP, but we do work with our colleagues everywhere, and there are not much differences. But I want you guys to think, if you are ready to export your products to UK or EU, start following British Pharmacopoeia and European Pharmacopoeia. If you follow USP and supply medicine to us, you're bound to fail, because we want you to follow our GMP, our Pharmacopoeia. You start manufacturing your products according to our guidelines. This is what has been talked about for the last 2 days, QBD, quality by design. And all regulators are actually talking about that. Recently, when I say recently, literally 2 weeks ago, one of our students, he completed his thesis on use of AI in pharmaceutical quality regulatory affairs. I'm talking to my colleagues who are from quality assurance now. When you have some issue in your product, you do root cause analysis, don't you? Yeah? You use 5 whys and all of that stuff. So that student, using AI, looking at some CAPAs, the student was able to develop CAPAs, and thanks to again to, I forgot your name, sorry. Harris. So what Harris said, all of you, when you have a problem with your product, it takes weeks and months to come up with the root cause analysis. So that student of ours, using AI, was able to identify correct root cause analysis within 2 hours. And we then validated that. What this AI is telling us, that we spend weeks and months identifying root cause analysis. This is telling us in 2 hours, exactly the same thing. Thanks again to people like Harris. Okay. So now we say non-compliances are there, but is it really true that quality is the reason for non-compliances? How many CEOs in this room of their company can raise their hand? When I say how many, I'm expecting some hands raised. 1, 2. How many COOs? Senior managers? You're not happy with that? How many senior managers here? I believe all of your senior managers. Okay. So do you attend any of GMP inspections when inspectors come to your place? Do you sit in the introductory meeting? Do you? Good. We have seen across board, senior managers don't bother coming to those meetings. Quality is not their priority. And my apologies to my senior colleagues here who have been CEOs and COOs of the companies. They leave it to the quality director. Quality director cannot do anything themselves. So you as COO, CEO, you have to be there in those meetings if you're thinking about your products. So the answer is good quality system or good quality culture. So one of the major observations in GMP across UK, MHRA inspectors identify lack of senior management involvement is one of the major problems. We could spend hours on this slide. If you don't sit in those quality meetings, not only in front of GMP inspectors, even with your own quality team, you are bound to get like this. Can someone guess how many million pounds company lost for this issue? Not 4-5. 10 million pounds for this one defect. The defect is, the product is paracetamol, 500 milligram, but the strip inside says aspirin, 300 milligram. The name of the company is Boots. Boots' name was tarnished across UK, but Boots don't manufacture this product. A CMO manufactures this product. So Boots has to take that initiative, start recall, and then go back to the CMO. They say, you have spoiled our name. We can't sell any of our products. So Boots tell the CMO, you had to pay us every day 30,000 pounds. And that lasted for 3 months. You can calculate how much money that company lost, not the Boots. Boots' name. Boots lost its name, but that company lost its revenue. Bit of statistics. I learned all this, what I have here, in the last 3 days from you guys. How many pharmaceutical manufacturers? 1,500 plus. How many active manufacturers? 600 plus. Total revenue, 1.3 plus trillion. I don't know whether it's rupees or pounds, I don't really know. Number of manufacturers and their share. 50 manufacturers amongst you, they own 90% share of overall 1.3 trillion. If I add 50 more to that, that becomes 100 companies, and you own 97% share of your manufacturing. What is happening to this 500 plus companies? You may be in those 500 plus, or you may be in top 100, I don't really know. So we have 600 plus companies, but only 100 are actually involved in manufacturing products properly. I just amended my slide this morning because I heard from Dr. Kasser. My apologies for pronouncing him incorrectly. He said India has 120, 125 companies who export products. I don't know how many we have, but he said it'll be good to have 20, 25 companies. So less than 10-fold. We don't have that. So it's not only manufacturers we have issues, our regulators also have issues. But I believe now we have a great leader in Dr. Obaid, at the CEO of TRAP. He has put a lot of efforts in the last 6 months. We are at the moment maturation state of level 2. I have bolded that word Bani. Can someone think of you what this could be in, what the meaning of this in Urdu? This is West Indian word Bani. Try to say it in Urdu and tell me the meanings. We have been saying all these challenges with Bani. Can someone think about something good about this Bani? What is Urdu? What I can say for Urdu for Bani? Can I say Bani? What is the meaning of Bani now? Founder. Founder, yes? So we can be founder of something new rather than just keep on thinking about challenges. So you have strengths. I try to do something very cheeky. I add an A there. And now read again this in Urdu and tell me what they say. Not Baniya. Say and think in Urdu and Hindi. Baniya. What is Baniya? Do we all know Baniya? That's exactly this Indian manufacturer work. They are really Baniyas. I'm not saying that we also become Baniya, but that's exactly how they actually have developed. We don't want to be them. We do have a lot of opportunities. DRAP has actually taken a lot of stick. A lot of people are talking about DRAP, but please do start appreciating the work they're doing. They're doing a great job for you all. They're looking for improvement of level 2 to level 3, but DRAP has to be supported by the government. Pharma industry, you got a promise from your health minister. He's here to support you. You got that support. And I added one more S there in green there at the moment. Baniyas or Baniyas. S is for strength. We have lots of strength. We can work together. Now I have bolded the first letter of each of these lines. Can someone come up with something which I have just recently adopted? A quality guideline? What have you adopted recently? PICS guideline. Hopefully that makes sense, isn't it? PICS, PICS. People put a lot of efforts in doing things for you. And this is not mine. This came from Dr. Obaid. As health minister was saying, they don't just talk here, and your regulators also don't just sit, they talk to people across the globe. If I'm standing here today, it's thanks to Dr. Obaid. I think I'll stop here. Thank you very much.